What if I told you that your anxiety isn't your enemy? What if it's trying to help you, not harm you? Imagine that feeling of tightness in your chest or the whirlwind of overwhelming thoughts. It's not here to break you. It's here to wake you up to something important within you. You see, anxiety isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It's a message. Your body, heart, and soul are trying to tell you something. They're begging you to slow down, pay attention, and give yourself the love and care you deserve. For so long, we've been told to fear anxiety. We were taught to hide it, suppress it, or numb it away. We were made to feel broken because of it. But what if everything you've been taught is wrong? What if, instead of fighting your anxiety, you could learn to listen to it, embrace it, and let it guide you towards something better? Louise Hay, one of the most powerful voices in self-love and emotional healing, shared a game-changing truth. Anxiety is not a flaw. It's a call for love. Now let that sink in. What if your anxiety isn't the problem at all? What if it's a messenger, urging you to stop ignoring your needs and reconnect with yourself? Here's where you need to begin. Start seeing anxiety differently. Instead of fighting it, recognize it for what it truly is, a sign that something inside you needs attention. And the good news, you have the power to change the way you relate to it. I want you to stop for a moment. Take a deep breath right now. Inhale deeply and feel the air fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, letting go of any tension you're holding. You've already taken the first step in shifting your relationship with anxiety. This journey is about discovering a new way of being with yourself. It's about transforming anxiety from something that controls you into something you control. Are you ready to take that step? When you begin to see anxiety as an invitation rather than an obstacle, something incredible happens. You stop running from it, and you start to understand its message. You start listening to your body, giving it the space it needs to heal, and responding to the needs that were once ignored. Anxiety is not a sign of failure. It's not a signal that you are broken. Instead, it's a signal that something is misaligned within you. Your emotions are trying to tell you that it's time to reconnect with yourself, to embrace self-care, and to let go of the unrealistic expectations you've been holding on to. As you take each step forward, you'll begin to notice something remarkable. The anxiety doesn't control you anymore. It no longer holds the power to dictate your thoughts, your actions, or your life. You've found the key to transforming your relationship with it. The power has always been in your hands. By learning to embrace anxiety with compassion instead of fear, you unlock the ability to regain your inner peace. This is just the beginning of the journey. There is so much more waiting for you as you continue to explore this deeper connection with yourself. Now that you've started seeing your anxiety as a message, the next step is to truly understand why it shows up in your life. Anxiety is not random. It's not something that simply happens for no reason. There's always a cause, even if that cause feels difficult to identify at first. Have you ever noticed that your anxiety often arises when you're under pressure, when you have a lot on your plate, or when you're trying to meet expectations, both from others and from yourself? That's because your body is telling you something. You need to slow down. We live in a world that constantly demands more from us. We're expected to be productive, efficient, and constantly on the go. But what happens when we don't take time to rest, reflect, and care for ourselves? Our bodies get overwhelmed, and that's when anxiety sets in. Louise Hay always emphasized the importance of self-care and compassion. She taught us that it's okay to say no, to take breaks, and to prioritize our own well-being. If you constantly push yourself to meet every demand, to achieve every goal, without taking time for self-love, anxiety will show up. It's the body's way of saying, I can't keep up anymore. I need you to listen. Think of your anxiety as a warning sign, not a failure. It's not trying to hurt you, but rather trying to protect you from overexerting yourself. And just like any warning sign, the sooner you recognize it, the easier it is to address. One of the most powerful tools you can use to transform anxiety into peace is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being present in the moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. When you're mindful, you give yourself the space to respond to your anxiety with compassion instead of reacting with fear. Imagine this. The next time you feel anxious, instead of fighting it, you pause, you breathe, you allow yourself to feel the anxiety without trying to push it away. And in that moment of acceptance, you start to shift your energy. You start to reclaim control over your mind and body. This doesn't mean that anxiety will disappear overnight. It's a process and it takes time. But by consistently practicing mindfulness and learning to respond with love instead of fear, you'll notice the shift happening. You'll begin to notice that your anxiety no longer controls you. It's simply a signal, and you can choose how to respond. You'll learn to trust yourself and your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You'll feel more at peace, more grounded, and more in control of your emotions. By embracing mindfulness, you're also embracing self-compassion. You're giving yourself permission to slow down, to rest, and to care for yourself. You're choosing to release the pressure you've been putting on yourself, and in doing so, you allow space for peace to enter your life. It's important to remember that anxiety isn't something you need to eliminate completely. It's a natural part of life, but by changing the way you relate to it, you can transform it from something overwhelming into something manageable. This chapter has shown you that mindfulness and self-compassion are key to transforming anxiety into peace. Now take a moment to reflect on how you can incorporate these practices into your daily life. How can you create more space for mindfulness and self-care? In our fast-paced world, we are constantly pressured to do more, achieve more, and be more. We take on responsibility after responsibility, pushing ourselves harder and harder. We often feel like we have no choice but to keep moving forward, regardless of how exhausted or overwhelmed we feel. But what if the key to finding peace isn't doing more, but rather letting go? What if the real answer lies in releasing some of the pressure we've been placing on ourselves? Louise Hay taught us that we don't need to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We don't need to prove our worth through endless tasks or meet impossible expectations. True peace comes from within, and it begins with the decision to stop fighting ourselves. When we feel anxious, it's often because we are trying to hold everything together. We fear that if we let go, everything will fall apart. We believe that we must always be in control. But the truth is, the more we try to control everything, the more anxiety we create. It's time to challenge that belief. Instead of holding on so tightly, try releasing. Start by letting go of the idea that you must be perfect or that you must meet every expectation placed upon you. It's okay to take a step back and breathe. It's okay to say no to things that drain your energy. You are not responsible for everything, and you don't have to be everything to everyone. When you allow yourself to release the pressure, you create space for relaxation and peace. You allow your body and mind to heal, to rest, and to recharge. It's in these moments of pause that you can reconnect with your true self and begin to heal your anxiety. One of the most effective ways to release pressure is through self-compassion. Louise Hay encouraged us to be gentle with ourselves, to show ourselves the same kindness and understanding that we would show a dear friend. When we are kind to ourselves, we reduce the stress and anxiety that comes from constantly striving for perfection. You can practice self-compassion by acknowledging your feelings without judgment. When you feel anxious or overwhelmed, instead of criticizing yourself, try saying, "It's okay to feel this way. I'm doing my best." By doing this, you shift your energy from self-criticism to self-love, and this shift can work wonders in reducing anxiety. Another powerful tool for releasing pressure is meditation. Meditation allows you to slow down and quiet your mind by giving you a break from the constant mental chatter that fuels anxiety. It gives you the chance to tune into your breath, relax your body, and simply be in the present moment. Start small with just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. With each inhale, think, I am at peace. With each exhale, think, I release the tension. This simple practice can help you feel more grounded, calm, and in control of your emotions. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Everyone feels anxious at times, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Surround yourself with people who support and uplift you, and lean on them when you feel overwhelmed. You don't have to carry the weight by yourself. Letting go of the pressure you've been carrying is a powerful step in overcoming anxiety. By practicing self-compassion, meditation, and asking for help, you create the space for peace to enter your life. You are worthy of this peace, and it starts with giving yourself permission to release the pressure. You may have heard the saying, "Your thoughts create your reality." It's a powerful truth. Our thoughts shape the way we see the world, how we react to situations, and ultimately, how we experience life. When we are overwhelmed by anxiety, it's often because our thoughts are out of control. The good news is that you have the power to change your thoughts. You have the ability to reprogram your mind and shift from negative, anxious thinking to peaceful, positive thinking. This is where your true power lies. Louise Hay often talked about the importance of positive affirmations. She taught us that the words we speak to ourselves have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. If we constantly tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we're failing, or that things will never get better, we are reinforcing negative thought patterns that keep anxiety alive. But what if, instead of focusing on the negative, you started speaking to yourself with kindness, compassion, and love? What if you replaced the "I'm not good enough" thoughts with "I am worthy of peace and happiness"? Reprogramming your thoughts isn't something that happens overnight, but it's absolutely possible with consistent practice. Start by paying attention to your inner dialogue. Notice when negative or anxious thoughts arise, and when they do, gently replace them with more positive and empowering thoughts. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm so anxious, I can't handle this," try replacing it with, "I am capable of handling this. I am at peace in this moment." By changing the way you speak to yourself, you start to shift your energy and your mindset. Another powerful tool for reprogramming your thoughts is journaling. Louise Hay believed in the healing power of writing. When you put your thoughts on paper, you release them from your mind and gain clarity and perspective. Writing allows you to process your emotions and express yourself freely. Each day, take a few minutes to write about your thoughts and feelings. If you're feeling anxious, write about what's causing that anxiety. Then, write down a positive affirmation or mantra that helps you shift your mindset. For example, "I am in control of my thoughts. I choose peace over fear." Over time, you'll begin to notice that your anxiety doesn't control you as much. You'll start to see your thoughts as just thoughts and not as absolute truths. You'll begin to understand that you have the power to choose how you respond to those thoughts. Mindfulness is also an excellent practice for reprogramming your thoughts. Mindfulness teaches you to be present in the moment and observe your thoughts without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you can notice when your mind starts to wander into anxious or negative thinking and gently bring your focus back to the present moment. As you continue to practice mindfulness, positive affirmations, and journaling, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset. Anxiety will no longer have the same hold on you. Your thoughts will begin to reflect the peace and calm you desire. Remember, You have the power to change your thoughts. You have the ability to reprogram your mind for peace, love, and happiness. It's a process, but every step you take is a step closer to a life free from the grip of anxiety. Self-compassion is one of the most important practices for overcoming anxiety and finding peace. It's the act of treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and understanding that you would offer to a close friend or loved one. But it is unfortunately, many of us struggle with self-compassion. We've been conditioned to believe that we must be tough on ourselves to succeed, that we need to push through discomfort and never show vulnerability. Louise Hay taught us the opposite. She believed that true healing and peace come from self-compassion. When you treat yourself with kindness, you begin to break down the walls of fear, guilt, and shame that anxiety feeds on. You create a space for healing, and in that space, peace can grow. One of the most common reasons we struggle with anxiety is because we don't give ourselves permission to feel. We try to ignore or suppress our emotions, believing that we should always be strong or positive. But that only leads to more tension and anxiety. Emotions are not something to be afraid of. They are natural, and they need to be acknowledged and processed in order for us to move forward. Self-compassion allows us to feel our emotions without judgment. It encourages us to embrace our vulnerability rather than running from it. When we stop criticizing ourselves for feeling anxious or overwhelmed, we create a space where healing can begin. If you're struggling with anxiety, try this simple practice. Next time you feel anxious, stop and place a hand over your heart. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Silently say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. I am doing the best I can. I am worthy of love and compassion." You'll be amazed at how quickly this simple act can calm your mind and ease your anxiety. Another powerful way to practice self-compassion is through forgiveness. We often hold on to guilt and shame, believing that we are unworthy of peace or love. But Louise Hay taught us that forgiveness is the key to releasing these feelings and healing our hearts. Forgiveness isn't about excusing what happened or letting others off the hook. It's about releasing the grip that anger, resentment, and shame have on you. Start by forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't listen to your needs, for the mistakes you've made, and for the times you've been hard on yourself. Recognize that you are human, and humans make mistakes. Forgiving yourself allows you to release the burden of self-blame and make space for peace to enter your life. Self-compassion is also about setting healthy boundaries. Many people with anxiety struggle with saying no. We fear disappointing others or feeling guilty for setting limits. But when you don't honor your own needs, you create more stress and anxiety. By learning to set healthy boundaries, you show yourself that you are worthy of respect and care. Setting boundaries doesn't have to be harsh. It can be as simple as saying no to something that drains your energy, or taking time for yourself. When you feel overwhelmed, when you set boundaries with love and respect, you're practicing self-compassion, and you're also creating a more peaceful and balanced life. Remember, you are worthy of love, care, and compassion. You don't have to earn it. It's your birthright. The more you practice self-compassion, the more you'll begin to feel at peace with yourself. And that inner peace is the foundation for overcoming anxiety and living a life that's free from fear and self-doubt. Anxiety often arises when we worry about the future or dwell on the past. We get caught up in what might happen, or we relive past mistakes, fears, or regrets. This constant cycle of worrying about what could go wrong or what we should have done differently keeps us stuck in a state of stress and tension. But the truth is, the only moment we truly have is the present one. Louise Hay taught us the power of living in the present. She believed that the present moment is where peace, love, and healing reside. When we focus on the here and now, we stop the endless cycle of worry that fuels anxiety. The key to living in the present is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully engaged in the present moment, without judgment or distraction. It's about observing your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings with a sense of curiosity and acceptance. When we are mindful, we stop worrying about the future or the past. We simply experience what is happening right now. Start by bringing your attention to your breath. Take a deep breath in and focus on the sensation of the air entering your body. Exhale slowly and feel your body release any tension. As you continue to breathe, bring your awareness to the present moment. Notice the sounds around you, the sensations in your body, and the thoughts that arise. Don't judge them or try to push them away. Simply observe. When you practice mindfulness, you create a space where anxiety can't thrive. Anxiety is rooted in fear of the future or regret over the past. But when you focus on the present moment, you realize that you are okay right now. You are safe in this moment. And that's all that truly matters. Living in the present also means letting go of the need to control everything. Many of us feel anxious because we try to control situations, people, or outcomes. We believe that if we can control everything, we will be safe and secure. But the truth is, control is an illusion. Life is unpredictable, and trying to control every aspect of it only creates more stress and anxiety. Instead, practice letting go of the need to control. Trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. This doesn't mean you stop taking action or making decisions. It means you release the need to control the outcome and accept that some things are beyond your control. One way to practice letting go is through acceptance. Accept where you are right now in your life. Accept your feelings, your circumstances, and the things you cannot change. When you accept the present moment as it is, you release the pressure to make things different. You stop fighting against reality and allow yourself to be at peace with what is. Living in the present also means embracing gratitude. When you focus on what you are grateful for in the present moment, you shift your focus away from fear and anxiety. Gratitude helps you see the beauty and positivity that already exists in your life. It helps you realize that even in challenging times, there is always something to be thankful for. Take a moment right now to think of 3 things you are grateful for. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of nature around you. When you focus on gratitude, you bring more peace and joy into your life. By living in the present moment, you create space for peace, love, and healing. Anxiety doesn't have to control your life. By practicing mindfulness, letting go of control, and embracing gratitude, you can find peace right here, right now. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools you have for healing anxiety and finding peace. It's a practice that allows you to release the heavy burden of resentment, anger, and hurt that may be weighing you down. Louise Hay often spoke about the importance of forgiveness, both toward others and toward ourselves. Holding on to anger and resentment only keeps you trapped in a cycle of negativities and anxiety. When you refuse to forgive, you are giving power to the people or situations that hurt you. You're allowing them to control your emotions and your peace of mind. But when you choose forgiveness, you reclaim that power and free yourself from the grip of anxiety. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the actions of others. It doesn't mean you have to forget what happened or allow harmful behavior to continue. Forgiveness is about releasing the hold that the past has on you. It's about choosing to let go of the anger, hurt, and resentment that are keeping you stuck in anxiety. When you forgive, you are not doing it for the other person. You are doing it for yourself. You are giving yourself the gift of freedom. By letting go of the emotional weight of the past, you create space for peace and healing to enter your life. Start by forgiving yourself. Many of us carry guilt and shame for things we've done in the past, mistakes we've made, or things we didn't do. Louise Hay taught us that self-forgiveness is one of the most important forms of healing. When you forgive yourself, you free yourself from the burden of self-blame and allow yourself to move forward with love and compassion. If you've been holding on to guilt or regret, take a moment now to release it. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, I forgive myself. I am worthy of love and peace. Feel the weight lift off your shoulders as you let go of the past. Forgiveness also means releasing the need for revenge or punishment. When someone has hurt you, it's natural to want them to pay for their actions, but holding on to that desire for revenge only keeps you tied to the pain. It doesn't serve you and only fuels your anxiety. Choosing forgiveness is a way of breaking free from that cycle and finding peace within yourself. To practice forgiveness, and you can use a simple ritual. Visualize the person you need to forgive and imagine them surrounded by love and light. Picture yourself letting go of the anger and hurt and sending them love instead of resentment. You don't have to feel anything special toward them, but this practice helps you release the emotional hold they have on you. Forgiveness can also be a gradual process. You don't have to forgive everything all at once. Start with small steps. Forgive yourself for the little things, and then work your way up to forgiving others. Each act of forgiveness is a step toward healing and inner peace. As you continue on your journey of healing, remember that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. By choosing to forgive, you free yourself from the past and create space for love, peace, and joy to fill your heart. As we reach the end of this journey, it's time to reflect on everything you've learned. Anxiety doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to change your relationship with it, to transform it into something that no longer holds you back, but instead guides you toward peace. Throughout this process, you've learned that anxiety is not something to be feared. It's a signal, a messenger that tells you something within you needs attention. By practicing mindfulness, self-compassion, and forgiveness, you've begun to shift your energy from anxiety to peace. And the more you practice, the more natural this transformation becomes. Living a life free from anxiety isn't about eliminating it completely. It's about changing the way you relate to it. Anxiety will always be a part of life, but it no longer has to rule your life. You can choose how to respond to it. And with the right tools, you can manage it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. One of the most powerful ways to live a life free from anxiety is by trusting yourself. Anxiety often stems from fear and doubt. We fear the unknown, the future, and we doubt our ability to handle whatever comes our way. But when you trust yourself, you can face challenges with confidence and calm. You can trust that no matter what happens, you are capable of handling it. You've also learned the importance of living in the present moment. Anxiety thrives when we focus on the future or dwell on the past. But when you focus on the here and now, you realize that you are safe. You can breathe, and in this moment, and everything is okay. By continuing to practice mindfulness, you give yourself the gift of being fully present, and in that presence, peace flows naturally. As you continue on your journey, remember to be kind to yourself. You're not perfectly, and that's okay. Life is a series of ups and downs, and anxiety may still come up from time to time. But with everything you've learned, you now have the tools to handle it in a healthy way. Another important aspect of living a life free from anxiety is creating a supportive environment. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who encourage you to grow and be your best self. Your environment plays a huge role in your mental and emotional health, so choose to be around those who support your journey toward peace. As you continue to embrace mindfulness, self-compassion, and forgiveness, you will begin to notice that anxiety no longer has the same power over you. It's simply a passing feeling, a momentary wave, and you can ride that wave without being knocked down by it. You have come so far on this journey, and now it's time to step into your new life, a life where anxiety doesn't control you, but where peace, love, and inner calm are your constant companions. It's a life where you trust yourself, where you live in the present moment, and where you embrace the beauty of being human with all its ups and downs. The journey doesn't end here. Every day is a new opportunity to practice the tools you've learned, to continue your healing, and to embrace the peace you deserve. Trust in yourself and trust in the process. You are capable of living a life free from anxiety, filled with love, peace, and happiness. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How has your journey with anxiety and peace been? Please share your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. Let's continue supporting each other on this journey of healing and growth.